Welcome back. Today we're stepping off the beaten path, not just into the wilderness, but into some really unsettling experiences people have had out there.
Right.
These aren't campfire tales, they're real accounts.
Yeah.
From folks who went looking for adventure, maybe peace, and found
Well,
something else entirely. Something that kind of blurs that line between a trip and a nightmare.
exactly. Nature has this immense beauty, we all know that, but it also holds things that are hard to explain. Dangers, mysteries, encounters that can seriously shake your understanding of the world.
Yeah, shake it to the core.
Yeah.
So let's get into the first one. This story starts pretty idyllically, actually. 5 good friends, the narrator, Rachel, Rob, Jenna, Jay, and Dave.
Tight group.
Yeah, really close. They plan this big camping trip, escape the city, get into nature. Weather's great. Spirits are high. They're hiking in, laughing, feeling that deep woods peace.
The classic setup.
Totally. You find a nice spot, setting up camp, everything's calm, perfect escape, and bam, it just shatters. Dave wanders off for a second and then lets loose this scream. Not like a startled yell, but pure, raw panic.
Oh, wow.
They find him maybe 30 yards away, crumpled, and clamped around his ankle, an old, rusted bear trap. Just sunk deep into his legs, blood everywhere.
Oh, God, that's horrific. An old bear trap.
Ancient, yeah. Rusted solid, anchored deep. Sickening. Luckily, Jay had seen traps like that before, knew vaguely how they worked.
Okay, that's something.
Huge something. So while Rob and the narrator hold Dave down, he's thrashing, screaming. Jay is desperately fighting with this rusted release lever. Finally, clang, it springs open. Dave screams again, obviously, as his lid comes free.
Yeah.
It's bad. Mangled, they can see bone.
Just finding that, a man-made thing like that, meant to cause harm, lying hidden, it changes the whole feel of the place, doesn't it? From natural hazard to something darker.
Absolutely. It's not just bad luck. It feels almost malicious, even if it was forgotten there for decades.
That feeling of violation, yeah, it's not just the wild anymore. It's the unpredictable danger humans leave behind. Hits different psychologically.
So they get Dave back to the campsite somehow. He's gone from screaming to just whimpering, legs bleeding badly, and Rob, thinking fast, actually pulls out a pistol he brought, starts scanning the trees.
Smart move, maybe. Or just escalating the fear.
Both, probably. Trips over, obviously. They ditch most of the gear, grab essentials. Jay and the narrator haul Dave up. Jenna's trying to bandage the leg. Rob's taking point, gun out. And the woods. They feel totally different now. Hostile. Like you said, paradise turned hell.
That palpable dread.
Yeah. They're moving, adrenaline's pumping, but Dave's fading. Bandages soaked, leaving this grim trail.
Yeah.
And then it gets so much worse. A loud crack. Something zings past the narrator's head. A gunshot. Not from Rob.
Someone's shooting at them.
Yes. Another shot hits a tree nearby. Splinters fly. Rob, incredibly, starts shooting back into the woods, yelling at them, "Run! Go!"
Oh my God, covering their escape.
Exactly. They drag Dave, stumbling, running, gunfire echoing all around, impossible to tell where it's coming from, just pure terror. Dave, somehow, despite the blood loss, is moving, fueled by adrenaline.
The shift from medical emergency to being actively hunted in the middle of nowhere, that's a particular kind of terror, the unseen attacker.
Yeah, that unseen element makes it terrifying. You don't know who, why, where. It pushes your brain past its limits. It's not just an accident anymore, it's a chase. Your safe place is now the hunting ground.
Erodes your whole sense of reality almost.
They finally make it to the car, throw Dave in, floor it. Twisting forest road, no cell signal for like 30 miles. Just a desperate, blurry drive to the hospital, trying to keep Dave awake.
Just hoping they make it.
They did. Dave's leg was a disaster zone, multiple surgeries. He recovered, thankfully, but with lasting damage.
And the shooter. The trap.
Nothing. Police investigated, but dead end. No description, no motive, no idea who set the trap or why they were attacked. Just gone. Anyway, back, of course, that spot in the woods. It's just a monument to that nightmare now. They all survived, but, something broke that day.
The psychological scars. The lack of answers can be almost as damaging.
Exactly. Okay, let's shift gears. This next one goes beyond human malice into something, well, stranger. This comes from a former U.S. Marshal. October 1986.
Okay.
He gets called to a high-priority task force briefing. Super vague invite, which he knew meant something big, a major fugitive hunt.
The serious ones.
The most serious. Turns out the target is Raymond Ridgway, 42 years old, wanted for multiple homicides, including ambushing and killing 2 FBI agents, described as armed, cunning, extremely unstable.
High-risk target.
Extremely.
Yeah.
Intel puts him hiding in a cave on Ula Peak, remote mountain near the Canadian border. The directive was blunt. apprehend or neutralize.
Dead or alive. The pressure on those officers must be immense.
Unbelievable.
Yeah.
And, that kind of high-stakes mindset, focusing purely on the human threat, maybe it doesn't prepare you for something completely out of left field.
That's a really interesting point. Yeah, they're trained for tactical situations, human adversaries. But what happens when the threat doesn't fit the playbook, when it's something anomalous? It can completely derail that focused mindset.
Well, get this. As they're hiking up Ula Peak, they start finding dead animals. First a bird, then another, then squirrels, marmots, dozens of them just lying on the forest floor.
Dead? How?
That's the thing. No visible injuries, no signs of decay yet, no predators around. It looked like they just dropped dead, fell out of the sky. Other teams ascending reported the same thing.
Okay, that is deeply weird.
Yeah.
And unsettling.
Massively unsettling. But orders for orders. Press on. Ridgeway is the priority.
Wow. Marching through that, it must create this background hum of wrongness, even for hardened agents. How does your brain even process that?
I don't know. It doesn't fit in any category, right?
Oh.
Training doesn't cover mass, unexplained animal death mid-mission. It probably creates this intense anxiety, this feeling that the rules don't apply here.
Cognitive dissonance cranked up to 11.
So they keep going, crunching over these little bodies, reach the summit area, approach the cave cautiously. 10 paces inside, they see him, Ridgeway, sitting with his back to them, rocking back and forth, not responding to commands.
Just sitting there. Eerie.
Totally eerie. Then Deputy Torres, next to the marshal, moves forward, touches Ridgeway's shoulder, says something like, "Come on, asshole," and the instant Torres touches him.
What?
Torres locks up, rigid, like he's been electrocuted, collapses right there, having violent seizure-like spasm.
Whoa, just from touching him.
Just from touching him. Everyone freezes. Then Ridgeway snaps awake, looks around, eyes wide, confused, sees the situation, the agents, Torres spasming on the ground, and he smiles.
He smiles.
A calm, almost knowing smile. Then he just surrenders, complies with all commands.
Okay, that sequence is beyond disturbing. The seizure, the smile. There's no medical explanation for Torres just collapsing like that, is there?
Not one they could find. And witnessing that, it defies everything. Then Ridgeway's reaction, that smile. It's chilling. Is it detachment? Does he know something? Is it just pure malice? It hints at something truly outside normal human experience.
Something operating on a different level.
So the aftermath. Torres gets airlifted, spends a week in a coma, wakes up with zero memory of the incident. Ridgeway, in custody, silent, just keeps rocking in his cell.
And the official explanation.
Predictable, right? The dead animals were likely killed for food, despite no signs of that. Torres' collapse. A sudden neurological event, a 1 in a million fluke. Pure coincidence.
Brushed under the rug.
Completely. But the marshal. Almost 40 years later, he's still convinced something inexplicable happened up there. He ended his account saying sometimes the agency's designed to protect us from dangerous people, also protect us from dangerous truths.
Wow. That's a heavy thought. And for the people who are there, having that experience officially denied or explained away, it must be incredibly isolating. Makes you question everything.
There's a permanent mark, for sure.
Alfred.
From government operations to a lone worker in the vast Alaskan wilderness. Our third story is from Cal, a forestry tech in the Tongass National Forest.
Huge place, 17 million acres.
Massive. And Cal loved it. He wasn't just comfortable in isolation, he thrived on it. Grew up outdoors, knew the woods, the sounds, the rhythms. This was his element.
Someone deeply connected to that environment.
Exactly. Which makes what happened next even stranger. He's doing a routine survey, deep in old-growth timber, miles from anywhere, stops by a creek for lunch. Quiet. Peaceful. Then he hears it.
What kind of sound?
A heavy sound, deliberate. Something big pushing through thick brush upstream, maybe 50 yards away, snapping branches. Not subtly, like breaking thick branches.
Bear, maybe. First thought.
His first thought, too. He freezes, listens, grabs his bear spray, he yells out, "Hey, bear," try to scare it off.
Standard procedure?
But the sound doesn't stop. It actually gets louder. And he realizes this isn't a bear. He's heard bears move. This is heavier, deeper. And the rhythm is wrong. Not 4 legs. Something. Upright.
Upright. Oh, okay. That changes things.
Big time. Something upright, moving heavy, and not caring about the noise it's making. His stomach just drops. He backs up, scanning the trees, still can't see anything. Just that snap thud, getting closer. Maybe 70 yards now. He yells again, louder. New response, no growl, no huff. just that relentless crunching forward.
That sound signature, big, bipedal, indifferent, that taps into some really primal fears, doesn't it? Especially for someone who knows what normal forest sounds are.
Absolutely. Our brains are wired to flag upright figures as potentially significant, maybe threatening. When it doesn't match any known animal, especially one that large and seemingly careless, it triggers deep-seated alarms. The unknown predator, the thing in the woods, cryptid territory. And then came the smell.
Ah, the smell. Often part of these accounts.
Yeah. And it wasn't bear musk or wet animal, not decay either. He described it as sharp, almost metallic, mixed with something sour, like really bad body odor. It rolled over him on the breeze, and he gagged. That's when the panic hit. Full blown. Couldn't see it, but knew it was big, too big. And moving deliberately, he grabbed his pack, started backing away fast. The noise kept pace, maybe 30, 40 yards off now. He couldn't tell if it was following or just moving parallel. Didn't matter. He turned and bolted, ran blind for maybe half a mile, finally stopped, gasping. Silence. The sound was gone.
That smell seems to be the real trigger for the flight response. Why are smells like that so powerful at inducing panic, more so than the sound even?
Well, smell is incredibly primitive, wired directly to our emotional centers, the limbic system. An unidentifiable noxious odor bypasses logic. It screams danger, disease, poison, unknown threat on a fundamental evolutionary level. It's an immediate biological alarm saying, get out now, now, now. Much harder to rationalize than a sound or even a glimpse. Makes sense. So Cal makes it back to the station, totally rattled, waits a couple days, then cautiously tells an older veteran tech named Jim, someone who's seen it all.
And Jim's reaction?
That's maybe the creepiest part. Jim listens quietly, then gives Cal this look. Not disbelief, more like pity mixed with nervousness, like he thought Cal was cracking up, but also something else. Jim just asks if Cal's sure he wasn't hearing things. Cal kind of forces a laugh, says maybe. Jim nods, but that weird look stays. Cal decides right then to just drop it.
Wow. Not you're crazy, but more like, oh, you encountered that. Like it's known, but unspoken.
Exactly. That's the vibe. Cal hasn't gone near that creek since. Sticks closer to the main areas now. Still listens, though. Always listening. Hopes he never hears it again. But he's sure, as he put it, it's still out there. Just doesn't want to know what it is.
That shared unspoken knowledge in those remote communities, it suggests these aren't isolated incidents. Maybe there's a kind of hidden folklore, an acceptance of the inexplicable that comes with living on the edge of the known world. Jim's reaction speaks volumes through its silence.
Yeah, absolutely chilling. Okay, now from something heard and smelled to something seen. Something utterly impossible. Story 4. This is from a guy hiking near Mount Rainier back in '92 with his girlfriend, Sarah.
Mount Rainier, beautiful area.
Gorgeous, but dense forest, too. Sarah wasn't much of an outdoors person, but she went along. They hike for a few hours, trail gets rougher, deeper woods. After lunch, they're heading up a slope maybe 3-4 hours in. Sarah's starting to tire. Yeah, he slows down, waits for her. She gives him that look like, I'm fine, but she's lagging. He smiles, says, okay, let's turn back soon. And right then, she sees something.
Okay.
She just stops dead. He hears her whisper, sharp and low, oh my God. He turns, thinking bear or snake, whatever. But she's frozen, pale, staring off the trail to their left. He follows her gaze and just stops breathing.
What did they see?
20 feet off the trail. Stuck halfway up the trunk of a big tree, maybe 3 feet thick. A full-grown deer, a buck, antlers and all.
Stuck in the tree? How?
Not hanging from it, embedded in it. Like the front half sticking out one side, head lolling, eyes glassy. The back half sticking out the other side, legs dangling, as if the tree trunk had just grown around it. Seamlessly.
What? That's not possible.
Well, exactly. That's the immediate reaction. Impossible. But there it was.
The cognitive dissonance there must be overwhelming. Your eyes see something your brain knows cannot physically happen.
Completely. It breaks all the rules. Physics, biology, time.
Yeah.
It's just wrong on a fundamental level.
Or
that kind of visual paradox creates this deep, visceral unease because it challenges your basic understanding of reality. Sarah grabs his arm, grip like iron. What the hell is that? She whispers, voice shaking. He can't answer. He lifts closer. The tree bark isn't broken or splintered. It looks smooth, natural, like it formed that way. But the deer, it wasn't ancient. Looked relatively fresh, maybe started to decay slightly. Flies buzzing, but no real stench yet. No blood, no signs of violence, no torn flesh where it met the wood, just fused.
The lack of damage makes it even weirder, not forced in, just there.
Sarah's freaking out, whispering, I don't like this, let's go. But he feels this weird pull, this morbid curiosity, needs to understand. He takes a step closer, almost touching the tree. And the closer he looks, the more his stomach knots up. Not nausea, but a deeper kind of dread.
And they react so differently. She wants to flee, he wants to investigate. Both understandable responses to the utterly baffling.
Totally. Her flight instinct is pure self-preservation. Escape the thing that breaks reality. His morbid fascination is maybe the brain desperately trying to categorize, to make sense of the senseless, even though it's deeply disturbing. A kind of freeze and analyze response.
Right.
And that's when the feeling shifted for him, too. Curiosity became dread. He said the woods just went dead silent. No birds, no wind, just their breathing. His loud. Sarah's quick and shallow. She looks at him, eyes huge. We need to go, now.
The atmosphere changed.
Instantly. He didn't argue. This wave of unease washed over him like a cold hand. The feeling that they weren't supposed to see this, that they'd stumbled onto something forbidden.
Yeah, that feeling of transgression.
So they backed away, then turned and practically ran.
Yeah.
Silent, quick, clumsy steps. Got back to the car and maybe half the time. Didn't say a word the whole drive home.
Just stunned silence.
Yeah. When they got to her place, she was still pale, looked him dead in the eye and said, "We are never talking about this ever again."
Wow. A demand for silence.
He agreed. Not because he'd forget, how could he? But for her sake. They never did speak of it again. But he says that image, the deer in the tree, burned into my brain.
And her insistence on silence. It's a powerful defense mechanism, isn't it? When something shatters your reality so completely, sometimes the only way to cope is to wall it off, pretend it didn't happen, just to maintain sanity.
Yeah, compartmentalize or break. For him, though, it wasn't forgettable. Just this permanent, unsettling glitch in his memory of how the world works.
A constant reminder that things aren't always what they seem.
Okay, one last story. This one takes us to the Florida Everglades. Solitary hike, late July. Our narrator finds hiking alone meditative, his way to unplug.
Everglades can feel pretty alienating, even normally.
Definitely. So he's hiking for hours alone with his thoughts. Then he starts to hear a hum. Low at first, off to his left, like a distant engine. Gets louder, steadier. A deep thrumming he can feel in his chest. He stops, looks around. Nothing. Just the noise getting closer, louder. Feels like it's right overhead now.
Okay, engine trouble out there. Odd.
That's maybe what he thought initially. But then he sees it. Breaks out of the tree line. A beetle. But huge. He described it as big as a football.
A beetle, the size of a football, flying.
Flying. Dark green, shiny, segmented body, hard-looking, hooked legs dangling, making this deep chattering buzz like a giant hornet, circling about 10 feet above him.
Okay, Everglades has weird bugs, but that's pushing it, way pushing it. Biologically, that sounds impossible.
Right. That's the first hit the category error. You know beetle, you know football, you know flying. Your brain tries to put them together and just short circuits. It breaks all the rules for insect.
Triggers that unknown threat signal, even if it's just a bug. A giant, impossible bug.
Exactly. At first, he's just stunned, maybe not scared yet.
Yeah.
But then the beetle doesn't fly away. The sound changes, drops lower. He looks up and it's descending, fast. Stops maybe a foot from his face, just hovering there, wings pounding.
Whoa, right in his face.
Right there. And its eyes lock onto his. He said they were huge, black, glossy orbs taking up half its head. And they weren't just insect eyes. They weren't vacant or instinctual. They looked intelligent, aware. Like something behind them knew he was there and was looking at him.
Okay, that's the terrifying part. Not just the size, but the perceived intelligence, the gaze.
That's the pivot point. When it goes from biological anomaly, weird, big bug to psychological horror. Projecting intelligence onto an insect is one thing, but feeling like it's genuinely looking back with sentience, that's profoundly disturbing. It messes with our whole understanding of consciousness, our place in the hierarchy. It feels alien.
It makes you the observed by something that shouldn't be capable of it. Deeply unsettling.
He said his blood ran cold right there in the Florida heat. Couldn't move, couldn't blink, just stared into those huge, black, wet-looking eyes. Felt like minutes, probably seconds. Then, flick, it darted away. Vanished back into the trees.
Gone.
Gone. He tried to shade it off, finish his hike, but the feeling was ruined. That night, the dream started. Back on the trail, dark, buzzing everywhere. Couldn't see the beetle, just felt it. Then the eyes appeared in the dark. Huge, unblinking, pulling him in. Woke up gasping.
Amir's locking it in.
Yeah. He packed up first things, hiked out fast. Brutal pace. Drove home 2 hours, white-knuckled, checking the rearview mirror the whole way.
Yeah.
Kept expecting to see it following him.
Paranoid, but understandable.
Totally irrational, he knew, but couldn't help it. Tried to explain it away later, maybe some kind of entomophobia, fear of insects. But he couldn't shake the image of those eyes, that feeling of being seen by something impossible.
And the result?
He stopped hiking altogether. Said he feels safer in the city now, sticks to urban parks. The wilderness just felt tainted, too unpredictable, too potentially alien.
Wow. That encounter fundamentally changed his relationship with nature. That's a profound impact. It shows how these inexplicable moments can rewrite our sense of safety, our trust in the world we thought we knew.
It really does. So these stories, they take us beyond just danger in the wild, don't they? They touch on something deeper, our fear of the unknown, the inexplicable, the things that just don't fit our neat boxes of reality.
Absolutely. They're encounters with the edges of our comprehension. Nature holds on to its mysteries, and sometimes people stumble right into them. They come face to face with things that defy explanation, leaving these lingering questions, these psychic scars. Maybe the most unsettling thing isn't the encounters themselves, but the realization that some things might just be fundamentally unknowable.
A truly chilling thought. Well, thank you for joining us on this deep dive into some genuinely unsettling wilderness encounters.
Yeah, these were intense.
If you appreciate stories that explore the dark corners of the unknown, please do like, share, and subscribe to our channel, Horror Docx. We'll keep bringing you more narratives like these.
Definitely worth following.
Until next time, stay aware out there, keep questioning, and maybe double check what's rustling in the bushes. You never know.